Hey guys, welcome back to Coming Home to Autism. Today we're going to talk about potty training. I know it's one of those things that you actually don't know where to start. You feel totally overwhelmed, and yeah, I'm hoping today's episode will help you get you on the right track, and I'm going to give you some easy steps to get started with. So the first thing I'm going to say to you today is, you know those childhood development books, which if you haven't already thrown out, please do. All those milestones, don't think about them. We have our own set of rules. We're in a unique group of our own, and the best thing you can do for you and your child is get rid of that age thing. Get rid of the 2 years old. Oh, should be out of nappies. Oh, your child's 4 and still in nappies. You know that glare people give you? Forget about it. You need to start potty training when it's right for you and when it's right for your child. Dylan was about 5 when we started potty training. I remember I couldn't find nappies to fit. So if this is the case, contact your local authority or your local social worker or your pediatric doctor in America. In the UK, you can get nappies for free after the age of 3, and they have bigger nappies that go up to adult size. So we filled in a form from our local authority, and they would send us a pack of free nappies, a big box of free nappies every month, and Dylan used these. And yes, he was in nappies till he was 4 or 5 because he wasn't ready. Then he started to become a little bit uncomfortable in his nappies, and he didn't like them. And I have spoken about this in my book, and if you are squirmish, you might want to fast forward this bit. But Dylan and a lot of our children like smearing. Our children are sensory, and Dylan would put his hands in his nappy when he'd done a poo, and he liked to smear it. So he has smeared poo on the walls, the carpets, the sofa. So whenever he did a poo, I would try and get it off him as soon as possible. But if I hadn't realized he had done it, and in one unfortunate instant when we were on holiday with some friends in a particularly nice villa in Portugal, whitewashed walls, imagine it, beautiful, sun is shining, I'm unpacking, and I smell something. And I come outside, and there's Dylan standing there, no nappy on, poo smeared all over the walls. Let's just say I got him out of there pretty quick. I got a big bottle of bleach and started bleaching the walls. Look, you have to laugh about it because people, for some reason, we don't talk about it. They don't want to talk about it. Maybe they're embarrassed the fact their children like smearing poo or eat it even. I know children who eat it. Yes, it's disgusting, but they do it. Get over it. You know, it's something they will grow out of. Like if I told Dylan this story now, he'd be horrified that he even did that. But he did, and it's fine, and we got over it. So now back to potty training. Potty training is a new skill. It's a new skill we all have to learn. We all had to learn. All our children have to learn. And like with most skills, our children just take a little bit longer, but it is a skill that they can develop. The reason why I think our children find it a little bit harder to be potty trained is that our children like routines, and in this case, nappies is a routine. So we have to try and break that habit, try and break that routine, and teach them a new skill. A lot of children can develop anxieties around toilet training. So the most important thing to do is wait until they're ready. But how do you know if they're ready? How do you know when to push them or not to push them? So communication, it's very difficult because obviously our children can't communicate to us when they need to go to the toilet. If your child's like mine, Dylan was non-verbal at 2, 3, 4, 5. So I had to look for clues. Most children will have a routine during the day of when they want to go for a poo and otherwise. So look for those clues. When it was around the time he needed to go to the toilet, we kind of hung around the bathroom. And beside the toilet, we would have obviously his chart, his reward chart, and pecs, pictures, what was expected of him. He needed to know what was expected of him because that's how anxieties can build up. Like, how do you know what's expected of you? Like, you brought me into the toilet, but what do you want me to do here? And it can kind of lead to that buildup of anxieties. Keep a visual timetable in there. So you go to the toilet, pull your pants up, wash your hands, get a treat. And if you're using pecs, your child, once it's gone to the toilet, can take it off and put it at the bottom, wash hands, take it off, or again, you can use a tick chart. A wipeable tick chart works well. So we had a certain set of toys in the bathroom, and around poo time, we would go in there and we would sit on the toilet and we would play with the toys. And when he did finally go, we made a huge fuss. He was really motivated by stickers. Your child might not show any interest at all, but it is going in, you know, and I think it's, you know, potty training is one of these life skills we need to teach our children. The other thing when it comes to toilet training is forget the pull-up nappies. It's too confusing. You want to go straight for the pants. You want to maybe show them it's got their favorite car on it, or maybe favorite dinosaur, or favorite character, favorite color. You know, make a big deal. These are big boy, big girl pants, and go straight for them, because the pull-up pants now are so good that they kind of soak up the wee straight away, and that defeats the object. That, you know, if they do have an accident, you want them to feel uncomfortable so that they will want to go to the toilet and not wet themselves. And this actually works in our favor if you have a sensory oriented child, because they won't like the feeling on them and they'll want to get it off straight away. So go straight for the big boy, big girl pants. The next thing is skip the potty. We're teaching a new skill here, and if you're teaching them to go on a potty, you then have to unlearn that skill to then go onto a toilet, because your 10-year-old's not going to sit in a potty. So again, forget the potty, go straight for the toilet. You can get those little toddler seats that go on it with the little steps that we have. They say a child up to the age of 6 can hold their bladder for about an hour, hour and a half. So I would recommend, if you're starting off on the potty training, it's literally taking them every hour to the toilet, sitting them on it. And even if they do the tiniest little tinkle, you want to be bells are going. You want to be so happy, give them a treat that they only get once they've done that. If your child does have an accident, don't make a fuss about it. In fact, don't say anything at all. Quickly clear it up, clean them up, don't say anything. We also used an app called See Me Go Potty. It's on the App Store. And this is great because you can make like a little avatar character of your child, and it kind of says, you know, see me go potty. Walk, walk, walk to the potty. Pants down. Sit on the potty. And it kind of does this kind of rhythmic thing. And Dylan loved this app, and it was quite funny because every time he needed to go to the toilet, he would grab my phone. And he started as it went on to start to mimic the accent of this avatar. So he sounded very American. So he would go, walk, walk, walk to the potty. I'm sorry if my accent's really bad, by the way. And he'd go, pants down. And as he got better at this, about a couple of months, and he was about 5 or 6, and he was really getting the hang of the toilet. And so anyway, he had my phone, and I was doing something with Luca, because Luca had just been born, and I heard, walk, walk, walk to the potty, pants down, sit on the potty. Well, steps 3 and 4 were like a little plop, and I realized he dropped my phone down the toilet. So when your children playing with the app, you might want to hold on to your phone and it doesn't go down the toilet like mine did. Temple Grandin also has on her website a great frequently asked questions section on toilet training and potty training. So I'll put the link below for you to check that out as well, because that's really useful, and she has really useful tips. And one of the things I think she mentioned as well is the whole toilet thing. It's not only trying to learn a new skill, it's like, okay, so you want me to go to the toilet, then you're going to wipe me with tissue. And sometimes if your child's very sensory, they won't like the tissues. It'll feel too rough, or if you use disposable wet wipes, it's cold, and I don't want that either. So you might need to look at different alternatives, such as cotton wool with warm water. You know, just play around and know with what your children's sensory needs are. Some children like the sensation of a full nappy. They like it feeling warm, they like it feeling full. So why would they want to take when they go to the toilet? So motivate your children, find out if there are any anxieties around the toilet. Again, it seems to me that potty training has a lot to do with sensory issues, because the other thing is bathrooms. Okay, there's no carpet, there's generally not any curtains. The light's usually a lot brighter than it is in the rest of the house. So there's a few things that I would suggest in the decor of your bathroom. What color is it? Is it a nice calming color? The smells, does it smell like cleaning products, or has it got a nice smell that your child's familiar with? Maybe they like the smell of the towels or your washing laundry powder, or maybe they like a vanilla candle. Light it, make the bathroom a really nice sensory experience for them. You know, make them feel supported. Like I said, on the toilet, we did have one of those rings that go on the top, because they might have a fear of falling down the toilet. You know, is the toilet going to eat me? That's a real fear. Fluorescent lighting, a lot of bathrooms have very harsh lighting, bright lighting. Perhaps look at getting a warmer bulb. The other thing is choose your timing well. If you have a new baby and you're thinking, I'm going to potty train my child right now, might not be the best idea, because your child's going to pick up on your anxieties and stress about getting them potty training. You have to be, and I cannot stress this enough, you have to be super relaxed as well to be able to support your child, because your child's going to pick up on you, and if you're stressed and anxious about the potty training thing, it's not going to go well. Now, if you start the potty training journey and you realize that your child is just really not ready, it's okay to stop. Start again, reset. You haven't ruined anything. Don't keep going because you feel like you have to. I always suggest doing potty training in the summer. There's less clothes to take off. It's warmer. You know, nobody wants to go into a cold bathroom and sit on a cold toilet seat. As with potty training neurotypical children, make sure you're potty training at a time that you're at home a lot, where there's not a lot of stress. You know, your husband's not starting a new job. You don't have a new child, you're not trying to settle the child into a new school as well, because you don't want to be doing too many things at once. Just focus on this one skill set for them. It might take a bit of time, but with perseverance and a calm head, it will work out. Also, a note to remember is that your child can be able to control their bladder, but not always be able to control their bowel movements. So just because you've kind of mastered the bladder doesn't always mean you've mastered the bowel parts, if you know what I mean. So that might take a little bit longer. And again, any accidents, don't make a fuss, don't say anything at all, because again, some of our children like it if we make a fuss. Doesn't matter if it's good or bad, they still like the fuss. So I remember cleaning up being like very, very serious, didn't say anything. So as I've mentioned before, some of our children are more likely to have diarrhea or constipation. Now this can make potty training just a little bit more challenging, shall we say. If your child is constipated, it's really important to try and keep their knees up as high as you can, so maybe put a stool underneath them. This also helps feel like they're not going to fall in. Another thing to do is keep bubbles in the bathroom, because if you blow bubbles, it can relax your behind. Just top tip there. So I used to keep bubbles in there, and it kind of relaxes them and makes them forget about what they're doing, and it can really help loosen things up. If your child is like Dylan and he always seemed to have diarrhea, again, it used to happen the same time kind of every day. This did change once we took him off gluten, wheat and dairy. This did help, and probiotics will help with that as well. If your child has ongoing severe diarrhea, please do contact your doctor to make sure there's no underlying health issues there. Okay guys, I really hope this has helped you a little bit. If you do have any questions, please do leave us a comment below. And yeah, if you've had any tips that have helped you, please do comment below as well. As always, join in the conversation, and thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.